Hi folks, Kit Barrett here, Electric Cowboy. I just want to make a quick little tip video on whenever you have these placid quick connectors on the black poly line with the hose. So these are barb fittings with hose clamps. Okay. So this line currently doesn't have any water in it. I was doing some work on it and had to drain it, so it is full of air. Okay, so it's full of air. I have it in here. This is the end of my hose that I will connect to my water trough, and I have it open. So whenever I turn my water on, my valve, back up close to my truck up there, whenever I turn the water valve on, it's going to be pushing all the air towards the ends of the lines. And I've had it happen where these things have popped off. I'm not sure. You would think that the pressure would be the same, but it's happened to me more than once. If I just have this closed, that this end just pops off. But if I've had this open, and it just let the air bleed out and the water pressure, I'm sure that there's some sort of scientific explanation for this, and maybe plumbers might know. I think they call it like shock pressure or head pressure, something like that. But just a little tip, and I'm going to do it at this line kind of is like a T, so I'm going to go down to the end of this fence, and I have an extra one of the little quick couplers here, but obviously it's not on the end of a hose. It's just I'm going to put that in and do the same thing, just let the air blow out, because it's a pain in the ass to have that pop off. Obviously you got to go back, get your tools, come over here, maybe you forgot a clamp there. Yeah, so just to save yourself, it may take a little more time, but I think it could save you a little bit of time. So just a quick little tip. These placid quick couplers, they're awesome. I can go down here and show you another one. But they're just a full flow. There's no valves. There's very little to break. I have not had one break. The only ever trouble I've had, like I've said, is with things kind of popping off. And another little tip that I learned, I don't know if I'm doing it incorrectly. When I first installed this line, I put on these crimps. Okay, so you see them at the hardware store and you buy these special kind of pliers, and they just crimp down. Anytime I have a line blow off, most of the time it's on one of these. They do not put enough pressure on the gripping pressure. So I would suggest to just not mess with those. They're a little cheaper, but they can't hold the pressure unless you're running really low pressure. This is a 1-inch line. Max pressure is probably about 50-ish PSI. But here, anyways, so it has a little dust cap. And then this is the male part, and this would be connected to a hose going to your water trough like I showed over there. And then they just, oh, probably, yep, there. So I'll do that again. You see there's a little bit of water residual in there, but they're pretty awesome. And that's just a full flow. There's no valve restricting. Nothing to turn, and then you pull it off and it's off. Close it up, ready to rock and roll. So just some tips on some above ground water line. It's definitely the most cost efficient. This is 1 inch. I've been running 3/4. This was the first one I ever put in. Like I said, I've been running 3/4 now, and a lot. If you have pressured water and a smaller herd like I have, in a 50-gallon trough, there's no way that you're gonna run out of water. Now, if it's non-pressured, like gravity fed or spring fed or and you maybe have 300 head, you might need a 1-inch line and having a bigger trough. Those are just some numbers you're gonna have to run. It may be more cost efficient for you to have a bigger trough anyways. And you may need a bigger trough, even if you have a 1-inch line or a 3/4, it doesn't, because when those cattle hit it, or ruminants, whatever type of animal you're grazing, they're gonna suck it down pretty fast, especially cattle. Sheep aren't really big water drinkers. They're just not, obviously a smaller animal. So I just have these placid quick couplers. I think they're every like 300, no, it's less than that. I think these rolls were like 100-foot rolls, and all I did was every time I ran out of a roll, I just put a T in and put a quick coupler. Now, knowing that's a little bit too close, I mean, I really don't need them this close. I could have saved a little money and just put a regular barb fitting and not a T. It's convenient though, but you could have them every 300 feet, have a 100-foot hose, and be just fine. So this just runs right on top of the ground all the way along this cross fence. There's another one right there. So I'm just gonna put this one in the end here, into this brace. So now that's just full open. So all the air that's in this line is just gonna blow out. Not gonna have any problems, hopefully. And yeah. So this is Kit Baird, Electric Cowboy, signing out.